Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is to wherever you're at. 91 Cav GT. Wanted to come to you today with a video about a prepping basic that is a necessity, that is almost at the pinnacle of what everybody needs to prepare for first and foremost. And it's not food, it's water. You can live 3 weeks without food. In some cases, you can only live 3 days without water. Water is by far the most important prep you can do. So, at the request of some of you guys, y'all wanted me to come and make a video in regards to water. So what do you do? Where do you start? First thing I would do is start with your bug out bag. I'm sorry about the wind, but once again, it's windy here in Texas right now. So, what do you do? Bug out bag. You need some kind of personal filtration system, not just the little pills that you put in water. Because I'm sorry, but if you get some really nasty pond water, I don't care what pills you put in there, you're not going to want to drink it because it's going to look just nasty. A really good filter, and I've got one here, is a life straw. Life straws are amazing and have proven themselves time and time again. This little filter here, they say it's supposed to filter 20 something gallons, which is perfect for a bug out bag. It's really light, it's really small, and it will not filter out chemicals. There's a couple of other things that it will not filter out, but for the most part, you can drink some nasty water through this and you're going to be okay. Sawyer makes some small personal water filters, as does Katadyn. There's several other manufacturers that make some really good water filters for personal use. That's where I would start. Okay, so let's move up in the home. There's a lot of different places throughout your home where there is water. Unless you have a tankless water heater, your water heater is going to have 30 to 50 gallons or more in it of fresh drinking water. But how do you access it? Well, if you go find your water heater and look at the very bottom of it, it's going to have a water spigot on it that you can put a water hose on. Now that is to periodically drain your water heater, to flush out the sediment, all kinds of nasty stuff that does build up in your water heater. You want to do that every year or two, depending on how bad your water is. So if you ever do need to use it and you've never flushed your water heater, the water coming out at first is going to be brown. It's going to be very, very nasty. Don't dump that water. Put it into buckets. Use that to flush your toilets with. Once you start having fresh, what looks like clean water coming out, then you can drink that. The other stuff will have a lot of potential rust and sediment and stuff like that. And you probably could drink it, but you wouldn't really want to. But just use it to flush your toilet. Now, speaking of your toilet, that is another source of fresh, clean drinking water. And I don't mean from the bowl. I mean from the tank on top. They typically hold a couple of gallons of water. A gallon at least of water. That is fresh drinking water. You can drink that. It has never touched the septic. It is clean drinking water. In an emergency, you can drink that. Okay? Now, a step up from there. They have things, one is called a bob. I don't remember what it stands for, but I've got one. It basically goes in your bathtub and you can fill the whole thing with water, and it ends up being, depending on the size of your tub, you can store 30 to 60 gallons of water in this bob. These are great for areas, example on the coast, when you've got a hurricane coming and you know things are going to get bad, you go ahead and pull that out and you fill it up. But that's the only time those are good, is if you know the emergency is going to come. Other things beyond that is water filtration. If there is some way that you can filter water, large amounts of water, now in order to do that good, you really need a multi-stage system set up. A system that starts with, that filters out large sediment, particles, debris, stuff like that, and then slowly but surely drops down to smaller and smaller size. Now, I am a full-timer in an RV, and that's what I currently have in my RV, but I didn't buy it, I made it. And I made it out of filters like this. Let me switch this around here. Filters like this. Now this is my first stage filter. Now obviously it was a 2-pack and I'm already using one, but this filters down to 10 microns. Okay. This particular filter is my first filter in my water filtration system. This is my second filter. Now this is a carbon filter, and this particular one filters down to 5 microns. Let me see if I can roll it around here. There it is, up at the top. 5 micron. So it starts off at 10 micron, which this particular one, I don't wait for 3 months to change it out, because this one gets nasty pretty quickly. I change this one out about every month and a half to 2 months. This second one, I can actually go a lot longer because I have this first stage set up. So this second one, I can go 3 months before I have to change this one out. Now my third filter that I use is this inline filter. Now this is a 1 micron. Now this one, I can wait 6 months between changing this one out. This one filters down to really, really small, but the first 2 filters filter out the really large stuff. So this one lasts a whole lot longer. But that's not my last filter. I've got another filter, and let me show you. Now, it's going to be really windy, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time over here. Now this is my wet bay. This is where all of water fittings are, fresh water, all that kind of stuff. Now, this is the inlet to the fresh water. This is the 10 micron filter. This is the 5 micron filter. And then it goes through the 1 micron filter, which then it goes into the RV, and then it comes to the final stage. Now this particular filter in here is a 0.2 micron filter. Now this will filter out pretty much almost everything else. This is equivalent to the live straw. The live straw filters down to 0.2 micron as well. So basically all my water coming into my RV is filtered just like a live straw. Now it's always also important that you have plenty of replacement filters. What good is having it if you don't have replacements for whenever it gets nasty? So let me come back over here. So if it got down to the point where we had to drink pond water, filtered pond water that is, then I would boil the water after it went through all the filtration, just to make sure 100%. Is it necessary? No, not with going down to 0.2 microns. Now you could just immediately start at 0.2 microns and have that one filter for everything. The only problem with that is it would clog very, very, very quickly, and you would have to be changing it out on a regular basis. That particular filter, I should be able to go roughly about a year, because the only thing that filter is catching now is things that are smaller than 1 micron, because the last filter before that filter is a 1 micron filter. So it takes a while to clog that filter up. So what are other ways of getting water? Now, I'm about to show you another way, but this way is not for drinking. This way is really good for flushing of toilets and for watering of plants, which is what I use it for. And that is collecting water from the air conditioner. Now, there is a drip right up there, and as you see, it is currently dripping because the air conditioner is running. Then drips down into this bucket. And you see, this water is kind of nasty. This water is going to be just a really, really big place where bacteria is going to grow. You don't want to drink this water. You do not want to drink this water at all. What I use it for is to water my 5-gallon bucket garden. Now, I've got another one that I started along with this one, but it works perfect for that. And so far, this will collect roughly, depending on the humidity in the area and the temperature, typically about 1 gallon of water a day, just from this one. Now, there's 4 other spots on this RV that I could put buckets here, so I could actually get a lot of water every day from it, but it's not good for drinking water. So to recap, focus on your bug out bag first. Bottled water is good to have, but it's a very short-lived solution. If you go down and buy a 40-pack of bottles of water, how long do you think that's going to last you? If that's your only source of water, not long at all. Okay, so you have to find a means to filter water. You have to figure out means to collect water. If you collect water off your roof, say rainwater, you have to be very careful with that as well, because if you have an asphalt roof, now you're going to have chemicals leaching from the asphalt roof into your water. So that's not a perfect solution. If you have a metal roof, it is much, much better. But you still have to filter that water because you've got birds flying over. Birds like to land on roofs, and birds will crap on your roof. So you're going to have that going into your water supply. You need to filter it out. So focus on your bug out bag first. Get a Life Straw, get a Sawyer Mini, get a Katadyn, something. There's a lot of different brands out there. Focus on that first, and then move up to your house filter. Start storing some water. Try to keep it out of the sunlight. You don't want water, especially in plastic bottles. That's not good. That's going to cause you medical problems later on as well. So go that route. Make sure you have extra filters. Chemical means are always a possibility. There are ways that you can add bleach to water that will kill off any kind of bacteria or anything in there. I don't personally like doing that, but that is a possibility. You can also make bleach from pool shock. There's a lot of different options, So hopefully this will get you started. As I said, water is the #1 prep that you really, really, really have to do before you start gathering food and stocking up on food. So, hope that helps. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good day, and I'll see you next time.